Everyone, my name's Elise Rumpf. I'm a research geologist at the USGS Astrogeology Science Center, and I'm also the USGS project manager for the Planets Project. Today, I'm here with Ryan Anderson.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ryan. I'm a physical scientist at USGS Astrogeology, and I work on the Mars rovers, Curiosity and Perseverance.
That's awesome. Today, Ryan, I asked you here because we got a really interesting question on our social media. The question is, do you need to wear sunscreen in space? What do you think about this?
So that's a good question. So first, we should think about why do we need to wear sunscreen on Earth? Sunscreen is a way to protect us from UV radiation. That's high energy light that's coming from the sun. So when we put it on our skin, it absorbs that light so that it doesn't hurt our skin. And so there are two types of radiation. There's high energy light and there's high energy particles. And so sunscreen only blocks high energy light, like UV. In space, UV light is very strong. You don't have the Earth's atmosphere to absorb some of it. So if you could go outside without a spacesuit in space, you would get a sunburn very quickly. But because there's no air in space, you don't need to wear sunblock because you should always be wearing your spacesuit. And the spacesuit will absorb that UV light.
Well, I guess that's an easy solution for the UV light, but you also mentioned particles as part of radiation. Now on Earth, we have an atmosphere and a magnetic field that protect us from some of those more dangerous radiation and those particles. What about if we're on the moon or on Mars?
Yeah, so this is a big problem for astronauts as we start to talk about sending people back to the moon or to Mars for long periods of time. There's two types of particle radiation that astronauts have to worry about. One is galactic cosmic rays, and that's high energy particles that are coming from distant things like black holes and supernovas. And that type of radiation is just constantly raining down in space. And the only way to protect from it is to put a lot of material between you and space. So on Earth, the atmosphere does that and blocks most of it. Not all of it, but most of it. In space, astronauts, while they're out on spacewalks, they can't avoid that sort of radiation. But while they're back in their habitat, they would want to build their habitat underground or with a lot of shielding to protect them. The other type of particle radiation that astronauts have to worry about is solar storms. So these come from big explosions on the sun that launch big clouds of high energy particles toward the planets. And on Earth, our magnetic field blocks those. But on the moon or Mars, which don't have magnetic fields and don't have thick atmospheres, again, these are a problem. Thankfully, when a solar storm happens, the sun usually has a bright flash of light as well. And so we have a little bit of warning so we can tell astronauts to take cover, go underground or go into their shelter so that the solar storm doesn't hit them and hit them with a large dose of radiation. So that's how we keep astronauts safe from those types of radiation dangers.
Wow, that's really interesting. I'm glad that we're safe from those types of radiation on Earth and that we've figured out how to keep astronauts safe when we eventually send them to the moon and Mars. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, Ryan. And thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to learn more about space hazards, go to the Planet's website and follow us on social media. Thank you.